Hello, my friends, and yes, welcome back, welcome back. You know, I love when you guys join me, and more important, I love when you guys interact with my videos to the point where we get a nice discussion going. And yes, I've been getting a lot of conversation starters going on between my last two videos, ladies dating in your 30s, because it is triggering to a lot of women, because they do realize that they are in that position. They're in a very crucial turning point in their mating life. And a lot of women do actually start to panic at that point in life, and rightly so. Because if they're looking for a mate and they realize that, oh, my sexuality isn't really cutting it anymore, men that I want, the older men, they're looking for something deeper and more meaningful. And if you watch my last video where a 40-year-old woman rejected an older man, very desirable, because he expressed himself emotionally to her, and she called it, emotional dumping, and she so-called dismissed him, which was debatable, we start to realize that men are looking for a much deeper connection when we get up into our later years. Because, trust me, ladies, your 30 and 40-year-old body can never compete with your 20-year-old body. Just saying. I mean, that's one of the main reasons why men look for 20-year-olds instead of 30 and 40-year-olds. That's the reality of life, ladies. You know the bones are creaking in your 30s and 40s. The knees aren't getting as high as they used to before. I won't get too graphic, but I want you to imagine something. And I'm going to show you a visual of it. Imagine Madonna at, how old is Madonna now? Let me just check. How old is Madonna? Madonna is now 65. Madonna is still on stage trying to convince people that she's still got it in these tight outfits, trying to still shake her ass and shake her body. 65 years old. Women are delusional beyond repair. It drives me insane. When I watch Madonna, I cringe. I literally don't want to watch it and almost pretend like it isn't happening. Now, I tell you this because these are the crucial ages where women have to realize, hey, I am not as hot as I was when in my 20s. I had this discussion with my 14-year-old daughter this morning. While we were driving, a message came through on WhatsApp from one of the women that I am mentoring. And she's in her 30s dating a 50-something-year-old man. And she's frustrated because the man isn't pushing the relationship or progressing the relationship as fast as she would like it to move. So she don't know whether they're coming or going. And this is going to be the major part of our discussion today. And I was trying to explain to her that men are not in a rush in their 30s and 40s and 50s and 60s. Women are.
You know I love you to death, but y'all got to stop with this goofy ass cap of what he won't do, the next man will. As a 38-year-old eligible bachelorette, I could tell you right now, the next man probably won't. You'll get it worse from him. But something that I really want to discuss with y'all, and this is going to catch me smoke, but you can't cancel reality. The playing field is not level. There are more good single women than there are good single men. And the reality is, what you won't do, the next bitch actually will. There are good women with good pussy and good credit and good manners, thirsty as fuck to come scoop up a man who will go 50% on the bills and come home at night to play his little fucking game.
Because women know that once they reach 30, they are very quickly losing their ability to attract a man, and more vital, they are reaching that point where geriatric pregnancy is right around the corner. So if you haven't had your first child at 35, you're really looking at problems with pregnancy. So regardless of what you women want to say, oh, we can freeze our eggs, blah, blah, blah. Just add another $70,000 to $120,000 onto your bill just to have a child, just because of your stupidity. Literally the price of a house just to have a child. When your average 20-year-old is just popping them out like peas out of a pod, right? Nothing, no expenses. So you screwed up, and now it's costing you in your older years. But
when is it time for you ladies to pick. At what age do you think it is time to get off of the ride? Meaning, when I'm age 25, I think I pick the best man I have at that time and I exit. It's like you're in the husband store. When is it time for you ladies to pick?
Listen, before I get into the videos, guys, come on, you know the drill. Subscribe if you haven't already. I know a lot of you are watching my content and you're not subscribing. Come on, it takes nothing from you and it means everything to me. I need you guys to subscribe and hit that notification button so you could watch more of my content. Of course, if you want to book a chat with me to try to get things off your chest, log in to askanolderman.com. And if you just have a quick question, get me over on Instagram. Join me over at Instagram on Ask an Older Man. Costs you nothing. I will always respond to your messages. Send me a voice message though. Don't write out a freaking long book. I'm not going to read it. I'm telling you guys right now. Those people that send me these long ass questions and you expect me to take 5-10 minutes to read that and then respond to you? No, that's pushing it. Send me a quick message. I can know how you feel. I can immediately identify how to help you much quicker. You can speak much faster than you can write, and it doesn't take my time. Use that microphone button. It's easy. 1 minute at a time. Okay? So let's get into today's issues. Let's listen to this young lady first.
Okay, let's talk about it. Let's talk about dating in your 30s because I know I can't be the only one that is now in her 30s trying to date after not really dating in her 20s. I grew up in a very strict household and I never could date in high school, and then in college I was just too socially awkward, socially shy, anxious, and I did date a little bit, but nothing crazy. And so now I'm in my 30s and I'm trying to date, and it's just the weirdest experience. I'm finally in a place where I'm ready to date. I'm actually ready to put myself out there. For years, I've just been single and happy being single and whatever. But something has shifted this year where I'm I actually really want to meet people. I want to date. I want that companionship. I don't know. It's not for the weak. And I don't like the dating apps. I begrudgingly took my Hinge profile off of pause, but I'm probably going to put it back on pause right now. I cannot stand the dating apps. I would much rather meet people in real life. That's just, and I'm actually actively trying to do it. I'm going out with friends, I'm putting myself in places. I am actively wanting to meet people, but I cannot meet any people that are just piquing my interest, that I find interesting. If I do find somebody that's interesting, they end up hurting my feelings, or they're unavailable. I have a full 45-minute conversation the other night while I was out with a man who was flirting with me, telling me I'm cute, that I'm his type, that he wants to take me out to dinner, what's my favorite restaurant, blah, 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 only for them to casually bring up that he's taken. And I thought he was joking, but he was 100% for real. So I'm why the fuck are you wasting my time? Why did we just have a 45-minute conversation? What is going on? Is it really that bad now where I have to now ask a man if he is single before I start to talk to them? And I don't know if anyone else has this problem, but dating in your 30s as someone with a baby face is so interesting because all I keep attracting are men that are very young, who all think that I'm 24. And in reality, I'm 34. So yeah, dating right now, I'm just trying to navigate it. And yeah.
Wow. She said a lot there. I'm going to try to unpack it systematically. Number one, she's reached that realization that she's not getting the amount of attention that she used to get when she was in her 20s. She's not meeting the amount of men that she used to meet when she was younger. Meaning, a lot of women take for granted that when they were going to college and just shortly after college, they would still have that degree of companionship. But as everybody start to get off into their regular life, all of those friends that you met in high school and college, they start to dissipate. They disappear. All of a sudden, the only access you have to men and even close friends are from your workplace. So now she hits the streets. She get out on the streets. She don't want to go onto the dating apps. Let's watch this dating app experience just so that you can understand what women have to go through. I'm not saying whether it's good or bad, but watch it anyway.
Guys, let's swipe left. Here's Chris. Captain? No. Nick? Too young looking. Dave? Why? Why are you doing this? No. Chris? No. Ty's the truck driver? Nope. Brian, how was this your best photo? How? No. Matt? Nope, that's a fish. Nope. Sam? He's new here with his tie-dye shirt. Nope. Ugh. Is that a hair? Absolutely not. Disgusting. Ace, cute dog, but Jeffrey Dahmer glasses. No. Next. Nick, not bad, but CEO at Cash. Weird. Bye. Matt, nope, sorry. Albert, no. Why do you look so angry? You're at a waterfall. This should be a nice moment. What? Okay, you're adventurous. Could be fun. No. Not feeling it. Ow, is this your best photo? Nope. Oh, Terrence. You look very surprised. Andrew, I don't get it. No. Your name's Midnight. It's very strange. Hazmat, next. Alex, same name as me. David, you kind of look like my uncle. No. Brian, no. Anthony, no. Daniel, no. Oh, Andres. Jason, okay. Not bad, not bad. 5'11", likes volleyball. Nope. Jimmy, no. Ronnie, no. Fabio, what? And Sam McCarr, nope. Chris, nope. Gabriel, nope. No. Nope. Oh, okay. Let's see. 5'9". Oh, he doesn't know what kind of relationship he wants, but yet he wants kids one day. I'm like, how old are you? 36. No. Oh, guys. No.
So that's what goes through the woman's mind. She has tons of options, but she picks none of those guys. She gives none of those guys chances. That's the reality of where they are at with dating apps. She gets out on the street. Of course, not a lot of men will approach you in person these days because women have been horrible to men, especially black women, women of color. They're very abrasive. Just taking this encounter with Mr. Samuels with a woman who called into his show, and you will see what the black community is facing.
In a relationship.
We've been official for 4 years.
Okay. What's the hold up on marriage?
What's the rush?
Common sense.
Are you married?
And you want to do it with me?
I'm just saying, are you married?
Okay, see, here's what we're about to do. Here's what we're about to do right here. No.
Because you wanna tell women.
I want to tell your stupid ass to stay off my channel. See, you get these bonnet fools in these 4-year dead-end relationships who get mad because ain't nobody gonna marry them. And then when you ask them what the problem is, they get mad because they realize they ride with Dirty Dick Rodney and he's just using them for your body. And then when he get tired of you, he's gonna go marry the hotter, younger, more cooperative version of you. Don't get mad at me because you stupid.
He was rough, but he was right. There's so many women who think that they got time. But it seems like women in the black community, they have another problem. They don't see the validity of marriage, even though they're the ones that benefit from marriage. They spend more time picking out a purse than picking out a man that they will get pregnant for. They will jump into the bed with a man and sleep with him for 4, 5, 6 years. And if the man is not obligated to get married, he's not going to marry her. If she don't put any pressure on him to get married, why would he get married? Like the old saying go, if you're getting the milk for free, why marry the cow? So she get angry because Mr. Samuels asked her, hey, so why you not getting married? So these are women that are on the other side of the fence who just clueless, because what's going to happen, like he said, just some man, he's going to be riding it and pumping it for 4, 5, 6, 7 years. Remember, I keep telling you guys, men have time. There's no rush for men. But the longer this woman wastes her time with a deadbeat man or a man who do not want to marry her and have no interest in supporting her into the future financially, he's just wasting her time, robbing her most precious resource, her beauty and her youth. Both of these two things disappear over time, ladies. So 30-year-olds, you have to be aware of this. I'm trying to help women in the black community. But this poor woman, she has no clue. She's more concerned about shaming him. And all the man is trying to do is help her. Make it make sense. Anyway, let's proceed. And men don't approach women unless they're players. If the man is a player or he's a lot older than her, those are the only two types you're going to get approaching. So she's going to get the older guys going after her, married. He's just looking for a lot of these modern women who just enjoy getting a hookup, looking for a sugar daddy. So she's going to get those men approaching her, right? And second, the young boys who have enough steel players who feel that they can approach her. Granted, she don't look like 34. I don't know if she has on any filters. I got to look again. But point is, she don't look like 34. So she's holding herself together well. But there's another major issue she's facing. She is in that danger zone. Yeah, because the second that you reach in your 30s, you are literally in the danger zone. Anywhere between 27 to 30, you are in the danger zone. That is the place where most men interest in you drops significantly. The next big drop is 35. And most women know that. Whether they like to admit it or not, they know it. So this woman is 34. Reality has sunk in. So of course, the only guys that are going to be hitting on her right now with any intensity is the 24-year-old guys who thinks, you know what? She's desperate. She got some money at this age. I'm broke as shit. Let me see if I can get a sugar mama. That's the reality of the life that she's going to be leading for a while. I don't like saying this, guys. I don't. I have 5 sisters. I'm the only son. I did not want this for my sisters. Now, they've all been married, and I don't like to talk about my family because, we're pretty private people. I'm the most public one out there. Trust me, no one else is on the internet. But I'll stick to the simple point. Ladies, there is a reality that you have to deal with regardless of what society has been telling you. Because all of this whole female power and, women, feminism, blah, 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 that's all great and good. It might enhance your career, but your career isn't your personal life. And men, they can admire your career. They're not marrying your career. They could admire your career. I'm going to say it again because sometimes my accent gets in the way. They can admire your career. They know that they're not going to marry your career. At least not the men that you want. The man will marry that McDonald's worker that is kind, sweet, fit, friendly, feminine, and agreeable. He will marry that cheerleader. Some are even stupid enough to go marry the stripper. Nothing to do with whether she's a biologist, a chemist, boss bee, and nothing to do with that. That's not how men choose women. Fit, friendly, feminine, agreeable, and childless. That is what men find attractive in women. Nothing I said there came under the guise of, I'm a boss bee. In other words, he don't give a shit if you act like a man. That is not what make men hard. So, I want to come to this other simple point when it comes to dating in your 30s. And it's vital. Your urgency, your sense of urgency is not the man's urgency. He don't give a shit. You're desperate to try to get that first child. You're desperate to hold on a man because you're in your 30s. That's not his concern. That's a you problem. All of a sudden you meet a guy. He's in his late 40s, 50s. He's either divorced, like I said in my last video, jaded. He's in no hurry to get into another relationship. He's enjoying himself right now. He sees a younger woman. He's going to have some fun. He's going to take his time because most men understand the game that women play. They know where you're at in your head when it comes to your age because men are smart. Men are much more informed now. These are mature men. They're not going to get all fluffy by that little space between your legs. No. He's experienced. He's mature. That little hole have gotten him in trouble many times. And that is the men you want. Because the men you want are men who were desired by other women. And if they were desired by other women, they have experience with other women. Now the beta males, the guys that you should actually have settled down with back in the day and built with them, they don't have a lot of experience. You might get some of those guys that will give you a chance because now that's the level that you're on, unfortunately. They're not the highest paid. They're your average dudes. Those are the men that you now have to build a relationship with because your sexual market value isn't as high as it was when you were in your 20s. In your head, you think, I'm better because of my career and what I've built, and I have experience. And what a man hears is headache. You're a boss bee. You're aggressive. You have no real desire to put him number one. You're number one. And worst of all, you're in a mode where you want to be in control. And then add to that, you have a shitload of trauma that you're now coming into the relationship with because you had a lot of bodies under you. Now, granted, there are women who had long-term relationships when they were younger, even 7-10 years. They've been in relationships and they got out of it before they reached 30 or in their 30s. So now they're stuck going, I wasted all of my time in this other relationship. I didn't have any kids. I kept my nose clean. I stayed in my relationship. I only had 1 or 2 men. Now I'm single back on the market. In other words, you ran the ball straight up to the freaking end field, right up to the goal, and you couldn't score. I've seen women like this. Been talking to a woman for the last 2 years in the same predicament. 37-year-old, her husband left. Couldn't hold it together. Now, I'm not saying it's her fault. Problem is that relationships take 2 people. What do? Ladies, the only choice you have is to realize that your sexual market value has dropped and you find a good average man and settle down with. And that brings us to the third point, because I'm dealing with this with one other lady. She's met a nice guy. She don't feel the spark. She don't feel that excitement. And she says, everything else is perfect, but I don't feel that excitement. I had to break it down to her. I said, listen to me. Number 1, you're not negotiating from a place of power. Number 2, forget this shit about a spark. Do you know the definition of a spark? It burns brightly and then it disappears. That's the difference between a spark and a slow burn. You catch that flame on fire, you put some fuel, you put some wood on it, you put whatever, some coal on it. Guess what? It burns for a long, long time. Sparks literally get really bright and then poof, disappear. That's what a lot of you millennials are dealing with. You all love that quick thing and then you jump out of it. It dies. Every single millennial just have this idea that, the spark isn't there, the spark. I didn't feel it. He's a good guy, but I didn't feel it. Sparks burst and then disappear because it's impossible for the freaking spark to keep burning at that intensity over time. I hope you guys understand me. When I met my current wife, there was no spark. There was none. There was, you know what? She's a nice looking woman. We had some good conversations. We started dating. We started hanging out more and more with each other. I already had been through a divorce. I'm like, shit, I don't really want to get into this right now. But over time, I realized this is a bloody good woman. Level-headed, got her shit together. She don't really need me, but she can see where I can enhance her life even better than she has right now. She had no kids. I saw where she was actually a peaceful woman. She wasn't into the crazy nightlife and the crazy things about life. She hadn't been all over, but she's been enough places to be worldly in her thought process. I'm like, yeah, you know what? I like this one. I think this could be a long-term play. Boom, I asked her to marry me. Point is, fuck the spark. I hate to say it like that, but you guys need to hear it in the most harshest possible way. To hell with the spark. The spark is what burns bright and then disappears. That's why there's so many damn divorces right now, because you guys just keep pushing for this damn spark, not realizing that's not what marriage is. That's not what relationships are. Relationships is about helping each other and feeling good about it. It's about, hey, I'm here to serve you. And the person next to you say, hey, I'm here to serve you, and I feel good about that. And we're going to build together. And both of you are committing for the long term. Because I'm telling you, ladies, men do not get out of divorces. Because this right here is what happens to men. Let me show you this quick video.
Wife informed me that she wants a divorce, and I left just to
keep the peace.
Keep the peace, and I'm still here. The locks, I went back the next day and the locks were changed. And
I've been on the streets for about 30 years. And the reason why I become homeless is me and my wife got a crucial divorce.
Bad marriage, a broken heart and hit the streets.
Me and my wife getting a divorce. Family, 1 minute they want you to stay. A week go by, time to leave again. So it's just very difficult.
Well, I went through a bad divorce, lost everything I had, and moved out here to start over. Went to the doctors, and doctors took me out of work because I got rheumatoid arthritis and my liver's failing.
Lost my house, my kids, my car to a violent relationship.
A broken marriage.
Relationship.
Yeah. Lost it. I have emotional issues I couldn't deal with. Car broke down. Ran into the wrong people at the wrong time, got robbed. Lost pretty much everything.
Divorce. Then I rented a room, and then I came down with epilepsy and started having seizures, and the guy didn't want me there. And the next thing I know, I was in a assisted living house.
Got a job in a restaurant again, which I was an executive.
Yeah, these are broken men that never recovered. Look at the faces of these men. This is what men are afraid of. Every man out there is afraid of being one of these guys. Do you understand me? Do you understand what men fear most? Is a woman who cannot stay in the relationship for the long run and then proceeds to break him when she exits the marriage. So guys, these were just a few lessons I wanted to just get across to you, ladies and gentlemen. The ladies, you have to understand the damage you can inflict on a man. You have to understand the playing position that you're in. You have to understand how to keep your emotions in check. Look for the flame, not the spark. I just wanted to conclude with that. Okay, so listen, subscribe. Get me over on askanolderman.com. Book a session with me if you need any advice. If you need any help getting to the next stage in your relationship or fixing something in your marriage, etc. If all else is failing, let me have a go at it. Everything is confidential, private, unless you tell me I can use it. Okay, if you want to share something else with the society, that's fine. Otherwise, private as hell, very inexpensive. Guys, I'll see you all in the next video. And remember, whenever in doubt, always ask an older man. See you in the next one. Cheers.